Today, what we're going to look at is determining how much money is going to be worth in several years based off of the present value of $1 and based off the present value of an annuity. So what we're going to look at is two separate calculations that are going to help us determine how much $150,000 is going to be worth in 4 years. So here are the factors that are needed to determine this information. One, I need to know how much money I have. $150,000. Two, I need to know what's the interest rate. So we'll go with a 7% interest rate. I also need to know how many years, and this is going to be 4 years. So I want to know how much $150,000 is going to be worth in 4 years at 7% interest. To determine this information, what I have to do is look at the present value of $1 table. I'm going to go ahead and give you an example of this. Pulled this information from the internet about an hour ago. And what we're looking at is the table that gives you the information about present value of $1. Now, if you're anything like me, this particular formula right here is like a foreign language. So I like to use the table. So what I'm looking at is I have a 7% interest rate, and I want to know in 4 years how much is $150,000 going to be worth. And this is going to be a compound annually situation, so I'm going to have to multiply each factor times $150,000, and then I'm going to have to add that up to determine how much $150,000 is going to be worth in 4 years. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer this information to my paper here. So here I am, 7%. Year 1 is 0.93458 multiplied by 150,000 gives me 140,187. All right, in year 2, 7%, year 2, 0.87344, 0.87344, multiplied by 150,000 gives me $131,016. In year 3, I'll go back to the chart, 7% interest. Year 3 is 0.81630. I'm going to multiply this by 150,000, and I get 122,445. And on year 4, I'll go back to the chart. Here's my 7%. I'm going to go down to year 4, 0.76290. 0.76290. And then I'm going to multiply by 150,000. This gives me $114,435. If I add all 4 years, $508,083. Okay, so now what we've done is we've looked at the present value of $1 table and determined 4 years worth of values to determine that $150,000 at 7% interest in 4 years is worth $508,083. There's another way we can look at this information, and that is by looking at the present value of an annuity table using the same factors, $150,000, 7%, 4 years. In this case, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the present value of an annuity table. Looks very similar to the present value of $1. However, you're going to notice a difference in the rates that we're going to use. So I'm going to find the 7% column, and this time I'm going to go all the way down to year 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, year 4, and I see 3.38721. So I'm going to take this information I'm going to enter it here, 3.38721. And then I'm going to multiply by 150,000, and I get $508,081.50. This information is close, give or take $1 or $2, maybe $3. However, we determine the same information using two totally different tables. In the first calculation, I used the present value of $1. In the second calculation, I used the present value of an annuity table. This information is going to help you determine how much your money is worth in the future. And why would I want to know this information? Well, it's important because if this is how much money I have, and I know this is the interest rate I'm being offered, well, I need to look and see year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, however many years I want to keep investing this money, how much am I going to have at the end of that time? Let's look at another way of determining present value. Currently, what we have is the future value shown, $750,000. And I want to know how much $750,000 was worth 3 years ago if a 12% interest rate was being applied. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the present value table, present value of $1 table. We're going to look at the 12% column, because that's what our interest rate is, 12%. And then we're going to go down 3 years. So 1, 2, 3. And this is the factor that I'm going to use to multiply 750,000 by to determine how much was 750,000 3 years ago. So I'm going to take 750,000 multiplied by 0.71178. We get $533,835. Okay?